Hello, my name is Sophie and welcome to this week's video. This week, in the light of all the things going on with quarantine and coronavirus and all of these scary big topics, I thought I would talk about self-care. I made a video talking about my top tips for self-care when I was in third year at university, and I was thinking about it and I thought actually all the things I did then aren't necessarily the things I do now, so I thought I'd do an updated / additional list of the things that I do at the moment that work for my self-care. Obviously, quick disclaimer, self-care is very personal and it's different for lots and lots of people, so the things that work for me won't necessarily work for you. However, I think it's really important for us to share the things that do work for us, because getting new ideas and giving people things that they might not have thought about before is a great way for someone to maybe find something that really helps them. So disclaimer over, let's get on with the video. First thing was more relevant when I was wearing makeup every day. This is like the 4th week in a row I've made a video without makeup on. Yeah, clean your makeup off properly, use moisturisers, use face masks, do little things that are kind of like daily tasks, especially if you're one of these people that has a proper skincare routine, but doing like extra steps that can feel like more of a treat. Even doing a baseline skincare routine, if you're not someone who normally does that and it's more of an effort, can feel like a little step towards looking after yourself. And those are the little things that add up in terms of self-care, especially for me. Looking after your skin, giving yourself those little pamper sessions, even if it is a 3-minute face mask, can all add up to being something that really helps your mind. Number 2 is very me. Make a list. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and like you need some self-care, one of the best things I think you can do is get everything that is busy in your mind out onto a piece of paper. So everything you need to do that day, everything you need to do that week or month, or anything that's just in the back of your mind and keeps popping up because you're worried you'll forget about it. As soon as you write it down and it's on paper, your brain doesn't have to go haywire trying to remember things. I find writing everything down just calms the mind a little bit, because that aspect of maybe forgetting something is gone. I need a t-shirt that says I love lists. For number 3, I've put Headspace, but any meditation app that you like would work. 2 years ago, if you told me that I was someone who meditated semi-regularly, I'd be like, why? Because meditation has this stereotype of being a bit hippy-dippy and, I don't know, leaving your fate to the universe or something. It feels that it has a reputation of being a bit hippie, wishy-washy. But I downloaded Headspace one night last year when I was alone and couldn't sleep, and it was eye-opening. I don't know about other meditation apps. I've personally only used Headspace and I love it. I've been using it more and more. I first used it as to use some of the sleep exercises before going to sleep. Then I started listening to the sleep casts and falling asleep as they were playing. But then as we got into quarantine and my boyfriend was home more, it felt he's not left. It felt very strange to be listening to something that felt quite personal with someone else in bed, so I was getting to a point where I didn't need it anymore. And I didn't want to be relying on it anyway, but I've recently started doing the basics course, which is a meditation you do during the day. And it's been really good, and it's helped with my anxiety, and it's just kind of focusing on breathing and bringing yourself back into your centre, which might sound a little bit hippy-dippy, wishy-washy, but when your mind is racing and your heart feels tense, it's amazing how breathing and focusing on your breathing and different breathing exercises and different mental exercises can actually make you feel physically better. If you're someone who's a bit skeptical of meditation, I've thoroughly recommended, but you have to go into it open-minded, because if you sit there with your eyes closed and you think this isn't working, well, it's not working, is it? It's not going to work, then it's never going to work. But if you sit back and relax and let the guided meditation tell you what to do, then you give yourself the chance to be helped by it. Number 4, make the effort to do things like painting your nails. I never thought I'd be the kind of girl. I'm the kind of girl who hasn't worn makeup for 5 weeks and is currently wearing the t-shirt of her favourite Overwatch esports team, so none of this adds up. Number 5, go to bed earlier and read a book. I am someone who goes to bed or comes up to bed at 9, does everything in the bathroom, brushing teeth, washing face, etc. Comes into the bedroom, fills in my line a day journal. I'm on year 4, thoroughly enjoying it. And then I do my journaling for my CBT and sleep course. There's a lot going on. I do this journaling where I write out everything positive that's happened in the day, everything negative that's happened in the day, my to-do list for the next day, and then any journal bonus thoughts. So I write in my journal. I then put on my pyjamas, do any moisturiser, fake tanning, skincare stuff I want to do, and then I sit and read until about 10:30, and then the aim is to be asleep by 11. Either way, reading a book is a great thing, and if you do suffer with anxiety and your self-care is more mental health orientated, I thoroughly recommend reading, because it's a great way to immerse yourself in another world and other characters, and the same way that TV and Netflix and whatever does, but it's more engaging because you have to put the effort of reading in rather than just staring at a screen. So either way, thoroughly recommend reading. I don't know if I've made much sense there. And number 6 links back to what I was saying about journaling. And I started this computerized CBT therapy, and it recommended the positive negative to-do list thing, and I've been doing that for almost a month now, and I thoroughly recommend it because it's interesting seeing how subconsciously you start finding more positives, and it starts taking bigger things to become negative. So the things that would have maybe ruined your day a few weeks ago are now just a minor inconvenience and don't even make it onto the negatives list. They're just kind of neutral things that happen. So that's been really interesting. But also on the bad days where there is more negatives than positives, I do feel more comfortable just writing all my feelings down. And a lot of the feelings I do put in the journal section of my little thing are quite negative, but it gets them out my system, and writing them and putting them into words is really, really helpful. And obviously I know that's different for a lot of people. I've always been a very wordy person. I've been writing creatively since I was 12, which was 11 years ago now. So writing is really therapeutic for me, but I recommend giving journaling a go, but you have to go into it with the same mindset as the meditation thing. If you go into it thinking this is dumb, it's not going to work, then it's not going to work. So those are my 6 tips for self-care. I realise they're quite mental health orientated, however my self-care is orientated around my anxiety and my depression, so obviously those things are going to come into play. However, if you don't have mental health problems, 1, congratulations. 2, you can still, it doesn't mean you don't get to do self-care. Everyone gets to do self-care because everyone deserves to care for themselves. I bet I'm not the first person to say that. I hope this video finds you and the ones you love happy and healthy. I know I've said that at the end of the past few videos, but I really, really mean it. These times are so unprecedented, and we're living through history, and it's strange and scary, and every day more people can say, I know someone who's lost someone to coronavirus, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So I hope this video finds you and those you love happy and healthy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!